Hello, Julie here and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to put together a journal. I was just going to do it off camera and then I thought, well, I might as well take you along for the ride. I'm going to do a hardcover with a spine for this time, as opposed to my usual wraparound one with a fabric cover. So anyway, I've started putting my signatures together. It's going to have two signatures and they're both the same. So I've put one together. I didn't think you needed to watch me do both. But yes, so I'm using my Blue Christmas 2 digital kit for this particular journal. So I'm going to fold these up. Now, I find it very easy to put these on my scoreboard and just fold the sides over and match them into the corner. Make sure they're nice and straight. Score down there. And that way I know I'm going to get a nice straight edge. Now, okay, so I've got an assortment of papers in here. These particular papers are tea dyed. Now I used red tea bags to dye these papers, thinking that I might get pink paper, but that didn't work. So I've ended up with this colour paper, and I think it's sort of got a bit of a blue tinge to it, a bluey greeny colour really. So I'm going to use these. I also have some coffee dyed papers here, and this one is going to be a, well, it's much bigger than, sorry, I'll be back in a tick. Yeah, sorry about that phone call. And I realised I didn't have my light on, so that's a bonus, now that you can actually see what I'm doing. Now this page is nearly 10.5 inches high, so I'm going to score this at 8.25, which is my height of my A4 pages. Then I'm going to fold that up. Okay, now yeah, I think I might just fold this. Well, this is, if I fold that in half, the A4 page is only about that big, so if I fold that at 5 3/4, which is a little bit thinner than my A4 page folded in halves, it gives me that much left over. I might just fold this over a bit. I might have a bit of a shorter page, but that won't matter, so I can fold that over and make a pocket like so. When I come to do this page, I'll just cut this piece out, that piece out, and then that will fold over. Well, it really negates that pocket, doesn't it? Perhaps I'll just trim it down. I'll put it in like it is, and then I can decide when I get there what I want to do with it. Okay, and now these are some papers that I bought a book, you know, just like a normal writing book, at Daiso actually, I think it was. And these pages were in the book, so I've just taken the cover off, separated the pages, and they will work fine in my journals. They've got, I don't know whether you can see it, but they've got like a dotted line. I've got 3 different sorts. There's a dotted line, and here we go, here's another one. So you can see that that's a dashed line. And there's another one that's got grid lines. So I pulled all of them apart to use just as pages in my journals, because 9 times out of 10 the journals that I make are a A4 size folded in halves, which is A5 basically. So I have been through these papers and sort of put them in the order that I want them to be in. I have got here a piece of printed vellum. So I'm just going to halve this. It's a fairly sturdy piece of vellum, and I was a bit worried that it might crack when I folded it, but it didn't, so that's a bonus. You can see it's got a fairly severe crease there, so that one's going to go in there. Dotted sheet. Even though these came out of a book, I have found that they're not perfectly folded, so I do refold them just to make sure that I've got a nice straight page in my book. Any of these pages can be folded the other way too, of course, as I flick through my journal and I think I want a darker pattern here or a lighter one there or whatever. They can all be changed. Hang on a minute, what's going on here? Seem to have got myself in a bit of a pickle here. I can go through afterwards and check it out. Another pattern paper. I've got 15 pages, or 15 double pages, so there's 15 A4 sheets in each of the signatures. Now this one, this is a music sheet, but it's damaged on the bottom. So I'm going to fold that over and trim that off. Let's get my trimmer. And I need to see where's the... So I'll turn it over that way and trim it off. So this has been coffee dyed. So if I trim that off there, that gets rid of that damaged section. And how tall does that make it? Yeah, so I can fold that up as well. It's going to give me a 1.5 inch fold. I could make it a bit shorter, couldn't I? Let's take, so it's 1 inch, 2 inches. Let's have a 2 inch fold there. Might fold it that way. I can go that way. Now, that is a very long page, isn't it? So, what about if I fold one in? So let's fold one in, so it is 5.5. And the other one, I will decide when I get there. That one's going in there. What have we got left here? I'll fold this one over. So I've printed the journaling pages on the front, and then I've printed some background pages on the back. So I can't remember, I think there's around about 50 pages in this kit. And yeah, Anyway, I'll put a link to the kit in the description box below, so that if you want to have a look at it, you can. I've got a flip through video. It's probably the best thing to put in there for you, so you can see it rather than a link to the Etsy shop or the Ko-fi shop, because you probably want to have a look at it before you decide if you'd like to buy it or not. Now, I've got a paper bag here, and I'm going to pop that in there, and I'm just thinking that I might put that in that way. So I'm going to fold this at 5.5. Okay, and I'm going to put that in here like so. So I've got my, what do I want it? Yeah, so I've got that way and that way. So I will cut that off when I get to it. Perhaps I should cut it out now. I definitely need to cut it off before I stitch my journal and my signature together, so I might as well just do it now. I'm just cutting the smallest amount off, make sure I've got that straight, but I will probably cover these anyway. Okay, let's pop that in there like so. And our last page, so this is going to be my centre page, so that's going to be on the centre, and fold that over like so. Pop that in there. Right. So, let's have a look what we've got. So I've got the two here, so I'll do them both at the same time and see if we've got them, how we've got them. So our front page here, open up to a tea-dyed page, flip over, there we've got that, this page. That goes in like so. Then we've got this page. This is where I got them all mixed up. Then we've got a pattern. Then we've got a tea-dyed page. Then we've got the vellum. Then there's that grid page one. And we've got that. Then we've got the tea-dyed page. Then we've got a pattern page. Then we've got this page, a book page. In this one I've used, it's out of a book, and this is the index pages, and I've folded, well, because it was so wide, I moved the centre fold to here, and then I folded that bit back. So that's how I've done that one. With this one, well, I've basically done the same thing, except I've left this hanging out because I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with that yet. Then we've got our pattern paper, a tea-dyed paper, our paper bag. This one I haven't trimmed yet, so I might do that now. in there. And then we've got our centre spread. Okay, so we've got both of our signatures set up in exactly the same way. So what I'm going to do now is decide what I'm going to do about a cover, and work out, because I'm going to do like a cover with a spine this time, as I said earlier. So I need to work out, get my materials to do that, because I want some cardboard for the cover, some chipboard, and yeah, so I'll go and get all of that sort of thing organised, and then I'll decide. Well, I don't think I'm going to trim them down. I don't mind if they step out like that, you know, which is caused by your folds here. I don't mind that, so I'm just going to make the cover long enough to cover that up. Okay, I'll go and get the cover organised and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've got some fabric here and I have cut it to size. It's not a Christmas fabric, but it's one of the only ones that I had that had some blue in it, so that's what I'm using. So this is the papers that are going inside of it, but you won't see that as a whole thing once I'm organised. Once I decorate the cover, you know, it'll be fine. So what I need to do now is attach my, and I've cut my pieces. This is like reasonably thick cardboard. Let's have a look how thick it is. It's 1 millimetre thick. So I've cut two pieces at 6.5, I think. Yeah, no, 6 3/8, that's right, by 8.5. And if I bring my page back in, you can see that that gives me a bit of spare space all the way around, which is what I prefer. And as I said, I don't really want to cut these off, so I've allowed a bit extra there. These will move back a little fraction, but that'll be fine. Okay, so now I have not done a cover like this for ages, and in point of actual fact, I've never done one with fabric. I've only done this sort of cover with paper before. So I'm a bit dubious about what glue I should use. I have checked out a few different videos on it, and yeah, there's nothing pretty definitive. I have never came across any video that said, look, this glue is fantastic and it won't show through. So all I'm going to use is this PVA glue. Fingers crossed it will work fine. Actually, this hasn't been opened. I may as well open it. I'm just wondering whether I've got a little container that I could put it in. Oh, well. Let's see if I can open it. Yep. Pretty easy to open. I'm not sure that it's going to be quick enough. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover my cardboard with glue, and then I'm going to use this brush to smooth it out so that I haven't got big blobs of glue, and I'm looking for basically a pretty good coverage all over. Probably shouldn't be doing this on top of my fabric. Let's, I probably should have something under this, but too late now. So I'm just trying to make sure I get that glue right out to the edge, and this is not going to be very good because I'm getting glue all over my desk, and then when I spread my fabric out, I'm going to get it all over that, aren't I? So that was a silly, silly thing to do. So if you're going to try this, make sure that you've got something there. And I should have a water container to put my brush in. I am not organised at all, am I? Hopefully this PVA glue, which I don't use as a normal, well, you saw I haven't used it before because it hadn't been opened. I'm going to spread that out. I'm going to turn that over. I'm going to lay that down about an inch from the edge and about centrally top to bottom. And I'm going to press down on that. Then I'm going to turn it over and make sure smooth it out completely by hand so that I definitely have not got any creases in it, because I do not want a single crease. You can use your brayer if you've got one, and if it's clean, that's another thing that will help to smooth out any wrinkles in the fabric, but it will also help to smooth out any of the glue lumps. Okay, right, now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the video camera off, and I'm going to go and get myself more organised, and then I will return so that I can do it properly without panicking. Okay, so I've got some butcher's paper now, and I've got a container of water. So now I'm going to do exactly the same thing for my spine. I'm going to try and make sure that I have got glue all over it so that it sticks nice and firmly. Now I am going to do a hidden binding on this one, so that'll be another first. So it's always nice to try and learn something new with each journal that you create, I think. Okay, we don't want it too thick. Now, let's turn that over. We can line this up. Now when we put this down, we need to have a little gap between the two pieces of cardboard. And we need that gap to be about the thickness of the cardboard we're using. So a good trick is to pop a piece of cardboard in there, then you can butt that up against it. Then when you take it out, you should be about right. Okay, I'm going to brayer over that from this side. Then I'm going to flip it over, check that I've got everything where I want it. Put it there for now. Turn this over and make sure that actually I can feel the glue coming through that. So I think I might have had too much glue on that piece. So now we will do this piece. So let's put our glue on it. Sorry about the phone. Sounds like I'm getting some messages. Okay. Take that glue right out to the edge, and I haven't got it as thick on this piece, but I think I've got enough on there, and so long as I get it right to the edges, I think I should be okay. Okay, I'm going to put my brush in the water now, and I'm going to get rid of that, and then I'm going to turn this over and attach it here. I'm going to try and get about the same gap as I've got in that piece there. And then I'm going to burnish that down. Now, I did iron this fabric before I started work doing this, because I wanted to make sure that I had the best chance of getting it nice and flat. And I think a bit more gap there. And it's going to have to stay like that now. So let's flip that over and make sure we've got it nice and smooth. Okay. Right. Okay. So now we're going to fold our fabric over like this and attach that. Now there's a couple of ways of doing this. You can fold your corner over like that so you've got a right angle, and then fold that down like so. That does make quite a bulky corner and you don't get a nice peak. Or you can cut your corners off. You can't really do them like that because you get a whole heap of bulky stuff there. So let's find some scissors that will cut the fabric. Alright, let's try these. Now I'm just going to cut across the corner, but leave a little bit so that that can fold up and in. Might be a bit too much, I think. It's a bit of a mess, isn't it? Alright, let's have a go. Okay. Right, so now perhaps if I run some, first of all, let's get some of the moisture out of this brush. Big mess. Run some glue along here. Now it doesn't matter if we go out too far with the glue because we're going to cover this with paper anyway. Okay, so let's smooth this out. Take it out to the edge. right out to the corner. I hope you can see what I'm doing there. And fold that in. We want to wrap that tightly over the edge of that cardstock or cardboard. Oh, I should have done the bottom first, I think. Yes, I should have done the bottom first, so we'll do the bottom and the top. And we want to fold that corner in and then fold it up. Push up from the bottom. Yeah, not that happy with that corner. Okay, so let's do this end. And now what I'm doing here is I'm trying to fold this corner up before I fold it over. I just made it a million times worse. I think I'm going to have to put metal corners on this journal because my corners are very amateurish. Very amateurish. Okay, so now I'm going to do this one. Okay, so there we have our fabric on our cover. The corners are disgusting and I will definitely have to put some metal corners on that. But the fabric is on. It doesn't appear to have any glue seepage, which is what I was quite concerned about. Alright, so the next thing I have to do is cover this inside area. Now, there's a couple of things you can do. You can cover it with fabric or you can cover it with paper. I think I'm going to cover it with paper. So let's see, I could pop something like that in there. Front and back. Or should I use fabric? Should I use the same fabric? Let's have a look. No, I don't think I will use the fabric because I want it to be more Christmassy. Okay, so that's answered that. So I'm going to use some fabric to stick in, some paper to stick in here. And I am not going to do that until after I have attached my spine, because I want to do a hidden binding, and then when I've done that I want to cover the whole thing up. Okay, so that's my cover, and I cannot stand those corners, so I've got some metal corners here, and let's have a look. So I'll put something like that. I've got one set of that size, I think. No, I've got two sets. Have I? Let's have a look at, say, something like that. Does that look too small? No, not really. Actually quite like that, so I think I'll use that one. Is that that. So they're the four I'll use. So the next thing I need to do is do the hidden spine. So I will come back with that in my next video. So today we've assembled our signatures and we've created our cover. So next video I will sew my signatures in, attach them and finish the cover. Put the key, put those on and everything else. Alright, no worries. Well, bit of a mess. I'm not happy about the corners, but everything else seems to have gone okay. And yeah, so thank you for joining me. I hope you've learnt something from my mistakes. I wasn't prepared really for this, creating this cover. I didn't really know what I was going to do, but anyway, I'm happy with what we've got here so far. So yeah, thank you for joining me, and I hope you can join me when I post my next video. Okay, bye.